Hello and welcome to Esri Fire and Emergency Services webinar series and our episode today, Geospatial and Situational Awareness for First Responders. Today we're joined by Tablet Command, one of our strong public safety partners, and we're going to demonstrate some both strategic and tactical capabilities that will support your response to day-to-day incidents or significant events and disasters. And we use these webinars as an effort to promote the use of GIS by public safety agencies. Just a couple of logistical items. There will be a recording of this webinar posted online. Every attendee or registrant will receive an email with links that are relevant to the demonstration today. And there's a chat feature within GoToWebinar. Please provide any questions throughout the webinar to the chat or through the chat feature, and we'll do our best to pick them up and answer them during the webinar. Those that we cannot get to, we will certainly follow up either with an email or back through the webinar link email that we'll provide you. So again, I'm proud today to be joined by an esteemed staff from Tablet Command. They have done some amazing work in what you would typically think of as an application that supports incident management and decision making, but they've done some strong work supporting their community during the COVID crisis that I was pretty excited to see some of the ways they were able to quickly integrate into emergency operations center functions, public health functions, and the like to support the pandemic response. So I'm going to turn it over to Van, the CEO of Tablet Command, and he can introduce himself and his staff. Van?
Thanks, Mike. Van Revere from Tablet Command. I serve as the president and CEO of the organization. I retired from the Stockton Fire Department in 2014 as a battalion chief and was one of the very first enterprise users of the solution. I'd like to introduce Will Pigeon, our Chief Technology Officer and one of our co-founders.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Van. Thanks, Will. We'll certainly come back to John for some comments or to answer some questions. So I just want to cover a few things about GIS in general and Esri support of public safety and how we can support you during significant responses or day-to-day operations. And most of you online are probably familiar with Esri, but worldwide company, 43 offices worldwide. And domestically, what's important here, I think, are relevant to our conversation today, is that over 80% of state and local governments use Esri GIS as their platform for geospatial data and analysis. And why that's important is because Tablet Command as a partner would have access and easily integrate to systems that most fire departments already have access to. So in other words, when you're pulling data about your parcel layer and your housing stock, or you're pulling demographics, all that capability that is provided through Esri is also accessed through Tablet Command. So it's a strong partnership there that leverages a system you may already have in your city, county, state, or federal agency. So GIS can be used in a variety of ways. Obviously, it allows you to measure, analyze, and understand things that are occurring in your environment and the world around us, and then be able to communicate that analysis and those visual applications to whoever you deem appropriate. So it's easy to share that information, easy to tell your story. It can be used in day-to-day operations or provide transparency for public safety agencies, or the hub concepts that were used so often during the COVID response to actually communicate with the public and provide that public information function from a emergency operations center or a significant disaster response. And we see over and over and over how GIS can have an impact to be able to map the risk and understand and prioritize where our vulnerabilities are, where our highest risk is, to be able to focus prevention, community risk reduction efforts in certain areas of our community based on the data, because we know those are the communities at most risk, those are the populations at most risk, and it allows us to get the right resources in the right place at the right time. And that translates not just in community risk reduction and prevention activities, but certainly into operations, to understand how can we assess the risk and try to mitigate impacts, but also how do we manage our responders in a safe and effective manner. And that's something Tablet Command is going to have a great discussion about today. So analysis is obviously very important to understand how we're doing business, where are gaps in service. And typically when we start looking at data from a fire management records management system, we get a tabular database view, which tells us a lot. But wouldn't it be better to be able to analyze that same data in a geospatial context, to understand not just what's happening, but where it's happening and then who it's happening to, with the ability to add that demographic data and understand that risk analysis or that impact of a significant event. And we see these practices over and over and over by our users. Wonderful activities, whether it's fire incident management or emergency management, that can be applied in nearly any context to deal with emerging threats and help us focus resources and respond in a efficient manner. So we know, where to aim to take care of the problem and support our customer and the taxpayer. And I want to mention quickly our disaster response program that is available to any of our users at no additional cost. We've helped thousands of agencies perform tens of thousands of functions related to COVID response, wildland, and some other natural disasters this year. So it's certainly been a significant response for us as a GIS community worldwide, and our users have proven over and over the impact GIS can have in their response to a significant event and those emerging threats. So please take a look at our disaster response page at Esri.com, and I'll have that link available to you as well in the email following the webinar. So again, I'm proud to have Van and his team with us today, and I'm going to turn it over to him to let him describe how they can use GIS technology and tablet command to support your incident management and response needs. Van?
Thanks, Mike. First, we'd like to begin by thanking everyone for your time and participation today. And to follow on with Mike's thoughts, we've always had the ability to access tabulated data about what we're doing, but we've generally not had any great insight into where we're doing it. So a little brief history of tablet command. What you see in front of you is essentially a digital tactical worksheet. Tablet command was conceived on the heels of the 2007 Michelle Drive incident in Contra Costa County. And Andy Bozo and Will Pigeon were both working firefighters there at the time. And the impetus of our solution was we should be able to do a better job of managing resources and accountability on the fire ground. This digital tactical worksheet excuse me, mirrors what most battalion chiefs are familiar with. And I'll confess that when I first saw the solution, I unceremoniously told Andy that we weren't interested and he didn't have anything that was going to help us. So there is some irony in my being here today. Manipulating resources in the platform is really very simple. It's a matter of just tap, drag, and assign. And one of the things that makes us a little bit unique is that we're very response focused. So this interface is very simple, although I can dig into the interface and see additional information. What alarm did they come on? How are they staffed? We have the ability to display staffing. We can even see the history of assignments for any specific unit in tablet command. The next iteration of tablet command after the application was developed was integration to CAD. So what you see on your screen is, in essence, all of the active CAD incidents in a particular jurisdiction. We had people telling us if we could get the data automated from CAD and display it in tablet command rather than having to create it manually, it would be wonderful. And that was what drove the creation of our CAD interfaces. Today, we offer a suite of solutions that includes CAD interfaces that reside locally in your communication center, a cloud infrastructure which is deployed in multiple availability zones and is by design mission critical resilient, so we have phenomenal uptime, and then a suite of applications that includes tablet command for the iPad, and we also have TC Mobile, which are notification and situational awareness tools that run on both Apple and Android handsets. Tablet command was founded in 2011. We launched the application in the App Store in 2012. Our first CAD integration was in 2013. And then in 2016, we had customers who wanted us to build a solution that would replace their existing mobile data computers. And that was kind of the next impetus for our evolution in the fire service market space. Today, we have 166 plus fire departments across the United States and Canada using the tablet command solution. As it goes to geospatial awareness, tablet command gives you the ability to manage resources geospatially on a map. And we have a feature called RealTime Sync, which allows any authenticated user in an account to view this map view and to see the actions of an incident commander in real time. As is the case in the units view, I can dig into this information as deeply as I want. So I have what I need to make command decisions at my fingertips at any given time. And then I have the ability to go deeper if I need additional information within the application. As you can see, by using the power of Esri, we're able to share other relevant GIS information. We provide users with the ability to create and share user maps through Esri, and those maps are selectable. We give users the ability to toggle specific map layers on and off within the application, so any individual user has the ability to visualize what they need to meet their needs. And as an example, most California agencies today are mapping evacuation zones. We don't need to see evacuation zones for day-to-day operations. However, they can easily be toggled on and off within this view. One of the things that we've done that is very innovative, you can see the blue markers on the map. Those blue markers correlate to pre-fire planning points. And by executing the link related to that pre-fire planning point, I can go to a pre-fire plan document. We can support pre-fire plan applications to include PDF documents. They can be stored locally on the device, they can be stored on a server, or they can be stored on the cloud. And we also have done some integrations to third-party pre-fire planning solutions. So if you're using a commercially available pre-fire planning solution, we have the ability to access that solution directly through Tablet Command. In summary, Tablet Command is a great incident management and resource management tool, and then we access or mediate access to data across multiple other platforms and put it all in a place that's easy to consume, interpret, and act on in emergency response environment. One of the other byproducts of managing resources in Tablet Command is the generation of a unit activity log. So this, if you would think of it in fire department parlance, is an ICS 214 form. This document can be exported as an email, and the difference between this and the typical ICS 214 is this is actually legible. It's accurate and it doesn't have food spilled all over it. This export includes a vision or a visual of the map view at the time of export, as well as a visual of the units view or that digital tactical worksheet that we've been using to manage the resource or the incident. We provide access to a weather URL, and one of the things that we're doing here is passing the lat launch coordinates of the event into the National Weather Service URL. So we're giving you the weather at a specific location as opposed to a general, area type weather report. And we do support the ability to write notes back into CAD. And we've seen this as a way for a lot of organizations to reduce their radio traffic. Things like, primary search is complete, all clear, fires under control. All of those actions can be written back into CAD by the Tablet Command interface, and we can reduce some of that chatter that is inherent to response to and management of incidents. Focusing a bit more on the geospatial awareness and Esri integration aspects of Tablet Command. This is a map of Contra Costa County here in Northern California. And as you can see, there have been a significant number of GIS resources added to this map. I'm going to try to highlight those resources in a way that makes sense. So we do display AVL. We can consume that directly from an AVL device, although we would prefer to consume it from CAD. And we also display the location of those resources and unit status as color. So as you can see, we can visualize every resource in this organization and their current status as color. Each of the red markers on the map represents an incident that's currently active in CAD. And I have the ability to, by executing that link, take me directly into that incident. So if I need to get intel or information about a specific incident, that can be done readily. As you can see in this deployment, we have state responsibility area, federal responsibility area, mutual threat zones. So there are a number of pieces of information that can easily be displayed and consumed through the tablet command user interface. And then really what we do with GIS through the power of Esri is limited only by the imagination and initiative of the GIS folks that are working within the tablet command account. For example, we have access to the ready wildfire cameras. So someone in a response mode can open a camera and see the image of where they're going before they arrive. So they can anticipate things like potential fire behavior, you know, are there exposures, what are the fire conditions, and they can get that data in real time through the tablet command user interface. We also have the ability to access Caltrans traffic cameras. And we all have been involved in those responses along the freeway where we're not really sure what we're going to, or we're not sure what the best access might be. So this is a quick way for somebody in a response environment to see what the conditions are, where they're actually going in real time. What we recommend to our customers is that they configure the Esri map layers so that specific features are available as you zoom closer to the map. This avoids map clutter that can create challenges for folks in terms of interpreting map data in real time. This is an example of fire trails that have been mapped in tablet command. Again, these are accessible at a specific zoom level as opposed to you know, cluttering the map during the day-to-day responses. One of the innovations that we instituted during the COVID crisis was the ability to highlight critical data in CAD Notes in tablet command. So both in the overview screen, so this is the initial screen that folks see during the response to an incident, and in the activity record, using keywords, we can highlight specific information. This can include things like health screenings around COVID responses. We've had customers highlight things like multiple to imply multiple reports, and all of these features are configurable on the back end of our system within the web interface. And this is one of those features that's really been highly appreciated by our customers over this last several months. I also want to show you an innovation that we created. We are showing unit status in a table format. So we provide you with a table that will show you the current status of all resources within your jurisdiction. And this can be sorted by unit status. So in this case, we're seeing resources that are available, in quarters, available on scene, en route to a second location, etc. We can sort by time. And each one of these resources presents with an icon that gives you the ability to locate that specific resource on a map. And in large organizations, it can be difficult to maintain some level of situational awareness about where folks are. So we've again tried to provide tools that really support day-to-day response activities in the best way we possibly can. We also give you access within our interface to the prior 10 incidents at a specific location. and the CAD notes related to those incidents. In my view, this is a better solution than traditional premise histories, in as much as premise histories have to be updated. Somebody generates the information, they're transmitted to the communication center, they're entered by someone in the communication center, and they tend not to be very current. This strategy provides us with the historic response data at a specific location. And I think it gives folks a higher level of situational awareness as they're moving into a specific location. And we also have access to the caller number, so we can give users in the field access to the reporting party's telephone number in the event that they want to check in and speak to a caller directly if it's an unable to locate situation or something along those lines. Mike, I think that provides a fairly comprehensive overview of the solution and what we're doing today. I'll pass it back to you.
Great, man. Thanks so much. So we do have some questions, and I'll start working on some of those. But so Van, let me ask you this before we get into the panel or the attendee questions. Your deployment, you have thousands of users nationally, but so and for somebody who's never seen the application before, where do you typically see this residing, throughout the workflow of a fire department day-to-day operation? So obviously this is a battalion chief or some kind of command officer tool, but are you seeing it used in the front of engines or at the crew level or division group level?
All of the above, really. A typical deployment includes tablet command for all of the command staff. That typically changes either when the leader's vision is for everyone to have enhanced situational awareness. In that case, we see tablet command deployed across every apparatus, and or scenarios where an agency is using tablet command as a mobile data terminal replacement tool. For example, San Bernardino County, which is the largest county in the United States geographically, is using tablet command on virtually every apparatus countywide to interact with CAD. And in the lower right corner of the screen, you can see a little green button. This is our status interface. And it's really just that simple. We present the next logical statuses as opposed to an entire screen dedicated to status changes. So tablet command can be deployed either in command vehicles only, or it can be deployed across the entire organization. I would say the latter is more typical. And then TC Mobile, which is our iPhone, Android notification tool, is typically deployed on a bring your own device basis. So departments provide user credentials to their folks that give them the ability to access TC Mobile. And for example, the City and County of Denver Fire Department has, at last count, 58 tablet command users and 685 TC Mobile users. So virtually every member of the Denver Fire Department is walking around with TC Mobile in their pocket. TC Mobile typically provides incident notifications 30 to 45 seconds ahead of the ring down systems in the firehouse, because we generate notifications at the time incidents are created in CAD, as opposed to after the call taking process is done. And what we hear from our customers in the field is that it really does enhance both the awareness of what folks are going to and their preparedness to act once they arrive.
So Van, related to that comment, the TC Mobile capabilities, obviously you have an alerting option. This is one of the questions from one of the attendees, but are you able to select alerting options for specific units or areas, first two areas and things of that nature?
Correct. We provide notification choices by unit. So you can be notified for a specific unit within a jurisdiction, and we provide notification by incident type. So for example, structure fires, technical rescues, hazmats, MCIs. So those notifications are user configurable to ensure that we meet the needs of customers. And in our TC Mobile application, we recently introduced an off-duty feature, which allows someone to just toggle those notifications on and off when they go home at the end of the shift.
Excellent. So we've had a couple of questions or a couple of discussions about CAD integration, and I know that was part of your presentation at the beginning, but can you discuss, what compatibility with CAD systems or how you integrate, what the issues may be related to CAD integration?
Certainly. We have three primary strategies to integrate to CAD. Our preferred method is for us to build the middleware against the CAD vendor's existing API. And using that strategy, we can act as a fully functional mobile data terminal replacement tool. We also have the ability to integrate using what we call a SQL interface, where we're pulling a SQL database at 6-second intervals and pushing that data up to tablet command. That provides a fairly robust or very robust one-way notification awareness and incident management platform. And in some cases, we're using an XML-based interface, and that really has to do with the existence or lack thereof of that SQL database. We're integrated to something in excess of 20 CAD vendors at this point, and the reality is we've not encountered a CAD platform that we're not able to integrate to. And I would suggest if you have specific questions, our contact information is available at the end of the presentation, and we'd be happy to speak with you directly.
Excellent. And so the next question is related to the use of web maps, AGL, that kind of cloud-based service, I think. But what kind of user types are required? In other words, your integration into, say, AGL or somebody's organization. Can you describe how that's set up?
Yes. We have a partner agreement with Esri that we worked, and Mike was instrumental. So it requires one Esri named user, and we use a strategy called group sharing. Essentially, that user shares specific web maps into a tablet command group, and then those maps are available within the tablet command application. And in terms of licensing, we handle the end user licensing through our partnership agreement with Esri. So there's no additional cost. There's one end user cost for each customer.
Excellent, excellent. What about offline or no connectivity and operations, within the device, I guess, with no connectivity? Is there any capability for that currently?
There is. So I will show you that. What you see on the screen is the original tablet command user interface, and it was designed as a standalone application that would run on an iPad with or without internet connectivity. So whether you have connectivity or not, the application remains fully functional. You can create an incident. You can add resources to that incident from a pick list, and we populate this list as a part of the onboarding process. You can create or deploy templates. All of this data is stored locally on your device, and you can manage an incident. So when the device reconnects, we have the ability, or we don't have the ability, we pass all of that data that's stored locally on the device back up into the cloud. So the functionality that you won't have in a non-connected state are interacting with CAD for status changes and real-time sync. But at the moment you're reconnected, that functionality is restored. And we have, using the RealTime 100 SDK, developed cache maps on our devices. We're refining the user interface around cache maps, but that will be available in the next release of Tableau Command. And we're excited about that because we think it's really going to support those folks that are working in the interface or a wildland environment or in an area where they have poor connectivity.
Great. And we can certainly barely have a conversation about public safety or fire service technology without talking about UAS and drone operations. Can you describe integration with UAS?
We have essentially a custom button within our user interface that I will find and show you, which we can configure to access any public-facing web feed. So if you have drone information that is available in a web feed, and you can see on the right of the screen, there's a button called Fire Map. There's another button that can be added there. So we have the ability to display or to access drone footage from directly within the Tablet Command application.
Great. So are you providing any location services to the device? In other words, the question is, can you show accurate locations for an individual handheld device like a cell phone? And maybe use that for things like wide area search or wildland, or even tracking individual users.
Yes, we can. So both Tablet Command and TC Mobile support location sharing, and both solutions give us the ability to toggle that location sharing on and off down to the user level. So I'll give you an example. San Diego Fire Rescue Authority is one of our longtime customers. They use Tablet Command or TC Mobile with device location enabled as a part of the management of the Rock and Roll Marathon, which is an annual event that they provide EMS support for. So each of their EMS resources has TC Mobile in their pocket, which gives them the ability to identify the location of users or the location of providers and dispatch the appropriate resources when there's a need. They also use TC Mobile extensively during their Gaslamp District events on Friday nights there in San Diego, although I suspect those have been somewhat curtailed in 2020. We're very cautious about location sharing. So we toggle that on and off within the administrative console, and then for TC Mobile users, they also have to agree to location sharing when the application is configured on their device. But we have the ability to do both, and we find that the location information provided by iOS is highly accurate. Our preference, as a footnote, is we would prefer to get location data via third-party AVL device to CAD and consume that location data for apparatus via our CAD interface into Tablet Command, meaning that CAD is the authority on apparatus location, and we're sensitive to considerations such as closest unit dispatching and don't want to compromise that ever in any way.
Excellent. Okay. So the question is, can real-time weather, wind, remote sensing, such as the fire detection satellites, be visualized for safety and situational awareness, or are we just working off of pre-built maps?
Real-time weather can be accessed, and there would be a couple of different strategies to do that. We could access a URL to display that information. We also would have the ability to put an icon within an Esri map layer that would take us to whatever that weather reporting station is. And one of the greatest strengths of Tablet Command is our agility. And Will is kind of the resident expert in terms of integration and innovative access. Will, do you have anything you'd like to add on that topic?
Thank you, Ben. I was just answering that question via text or chat just now. So yeah, anything that can be displayed or as a feature service and is available in ArcGIS Online can be displayed inside Tablet Command. And like Ben said, we could also provide links to updated sources if it's not available in ArcGIS Online, meaning if it's just available on the web, you could also see the data that way, where you would click a link. But anything that isn't available in ArcGIS Online in terms of a feature service or a web map will be displayed in Tablet Command and updated, intermittently, not in real time, but it'll be, updated every few seconds.
Great, thanks, Will. Ben, what have you seen as far as the applications used during mutual aid responses or multiple agencies, operating off of one common operating picture? Have you had that occur, or can you describe any use cases for that?
We have. I will say that for most of our customers, and we have high penetration here in California, both in the Bay Area and in the Southern California region. Folks are using Tablet Command as a management tool to manage strike team deployments and overhead deployments. And today, what typically is being done is credentials for a specific account are being shared to participating agencies so that everyone can access and view and interact with Tablet Command data within a single Tablet Command account. A couple of noteworthy examples over the past several months during red flag warnings, when agencies have sent resources into neighboring agencies in a kind of a ready state, we have provided Tablet Command and or TC mobile credentials to those responders from other agencies so that they could access things like fire station locations, mapping, incident data, etc. One of the features that we're working on for 2021 is incident sharing, which will give two agencies that have disconnected Tablet Command accounts the ability to share incidents across the jurisdictional boundary. But where the solution is being used extensively in a mutual aid environment today. And one of the things in Solano County, they have a significant number of PSAPs, none of which are connected, and they're using Tablet Command to provide a common operating picture across the county among all the participating agencies.
Excellent. So I think that wraps up our questions, at least the ones that we've gotten to so far. So I want to make sure that everybody has our contact information available. The email for Tablet Command is there. So as an action item, please, write down or take a screenshot of this contact information. And then my email is available there as well, mike_cox@esri.com. Certainly, if you have any questions, reach out. Any questions we did not get to during the broadcast or during the webinar, rather, we'll follow up with an email. But certainly, if your question wasn't answered or you have some additional questions, please reach out to Van and his staff or reach out to me, and we can support that in some way. And I need to make a note, it is GIS Day, so please go to gisday.com and see how you can participate in a worldwide celebration of the use of GIS. So Van, I want to thank you again for spending some time with us today and showing this very effective application that can support incident management. I'll turn it back over to you for a moment for any closing comments or issues.
Thank you, Mike. Again, on behalf of the entire Tablet Command team, we appreciate the opportunity to participate, and we appreciate the partnership we share with Esri. And for those in the audience, take a little risk, get in touch with us, have some conversations with us. I think you'll be amazed at what we can do to support your success as an organization. Have a great day.
Thanks, Chief. And again, thank you to everyone who attended today, and look for that follow-up email with the relevant links. Have a good day.